Hello, and welcome back to Dragon's Dogma 2. Now, when we get in, I'll give you a moment. I'll not spoil it for you, but I'll see if you notice. I'll give you a second or two. When we get in here, because there's definitely a few things different, and I'm very frustrated over it. But I'll give you a moment to guess.
Scratch another task off our list while we're here, if we are so inclined.
We shall have to decide which is the most pressing. We cannot do everything at once.
There's a clue just shown then. Have you noticed? There's another one on my character, or, not on my character, you might say. So if you've noticed,
Mayhap this ladder is here.
good for you.
Perhaps new discoveries await us above.
We'll check out what's up on this ladder. I'll give you another moment. Something is amiss. If you know what it is, because I've tried to make it as difficult as I can for you to notice, because I'm really trying to make it exactly as it was, but you'll... So apparently there's something
I've
up
heard some
here.
interesting tidings about town.
Oh, I
If
see.
you refer to changes in the military's makeup, I've heard the same.
Indeed. Tell us, there's been a shift in the chain of command.
Oh. No, let me in. There we are. Okay, last chance. Once we've opened these, I'll go over everything. Have you noticed what has changed?
With a ferry stone in hand, we can travel wheresoever we please. We must save it for a time of dire need.
Oh, we can't ring the bell. Oh well. Right, okay. I think I've given you enough time. This is not the character that we left off with. Oh, and too
Over
far.
here, if you please.
And those are not my secondary pawns. So, what happened is I tried to do the next quest, the magistrate. And I went over, and you can't go in the palace at night, so I waited until the morning. Now, I thought, in fact, I'll keep on going. So I went over and I went to the prison to rescue the magistrate. And, well, what happened, let's see, the cage magistrate, we'll do that now. Set as priority. While I was in there, the guards got angry. So, unlike with other RPGs, things that you interact with won't necessarily be labelled as stealing. Or things, so if you're interacting with something and, oh, you're not meant to open that door, or you're not meant to go and go into this room or anything, it won't tell you. The guards will just kind of react. So, you've kind of got to feel around to see what is and isn't legal. Now that sounds all cool and dynamic and like, oh wow, it's not hand-holding you and all this lark. But on the negative side, it's also making it very ambiguous as to what can, what you should and shouldn't be allowed, shouldn't be doing basically. So there's a bit of ambiguity to what I'm allowed and not allowed to do. And I ended up getting the guards on me. I think I didn't know which cell was the magistrate, so I just went and started opening the cells, then I was going to just talk to the people inside. And, yeah, it just kind of went awry. I ended up in prison, I loaded it back up, and no, it had auto-saved in the prison cell. So, couldn't do anything. And I think, right, okay, well, I'll load the in save. Now you may have heard of Dragon's Dogma 2, how it's got this horrifyingly bad load and save system. So you'll probably have gleaned it from watching me, but just so it's clear, I get an autosave, and saving it here, all this does is save over the autosave. You get a permanent save as well, which you can load from whenever, and it won't get loaded. It won't save over that until you manually save it again. How do you trigger that manual save? Now, it's referred to as an in save, but I honestly thought it was triggered when you slept. It isn't. It is literally at the inn. I didn't sleep at the inn since the tutorial to sleep at the inn. And you know what that means. I loaded it up, completed the sleep at the inn quest, went to level 2, and it overwrote the autosave, undoing 10.5 hours of progress. I'm really glad the developers thought to include that in. And yeah, you get this. Restricted entry, so we're not allowed to be on the premises here at night.
Have no fear, master. I'll fare all right without you for a little while.
I suppose all we can do is wait.
So that's why when we've loaded in today, it's at the inn. Because I have made damn certain to put an inn save down after having to... Now, thankfully, I'd already redone it. I'd already done it all once, and I skipped all the cutscenes and everything, but it has taken me about 5.5 hours to get back to the spot where I was at before. So this is 5.5 hours after last time. I've done all the same quests, done all the same progress, and bought the same items. You see, this was the other thing as well.
So, you've come. Captain Brant bade me allow you passage.
So, that's what happened. And I'll tell you what exactly happened last time. I went all the way down. And just in case, by the way, I have backed up the save, like an actual backup in a different file, backed up the save. So we should be good now. But yeah, I went in there, opened that chest thinking, well, it's not marked as being stealing, so... And you can actually open the chests behind like the counters of merchants and things. But I think you're also supposed to kind of sort of stealth around these guards. But anyway, since I screwed up last time, I'm very annoyed about it. This time, we're going to very carefully go through here. I watched a guide on all this, because I am not doing it again.
To release me from this jail? Who are you? Aha! Then we are presented with 3 options. Either the law of our world that allows only one Arisen has been upended, or Deeza's Arisen is false, or you are lying to me. Have you proof that you are Arisen, as you say?
I mean, this is when we show off as a chest scar, isn't it?
Ah, they say the Arisen's breast bears a wound akin to the dragon's claw. By that mark, 'twould seem 'tis true. This reminds me of a happening 148 years ago. During the reign of Regent Alphonse, a man named Crusoe appeared and claimed to be Arisen. He went before the people, insisting that he, and not Regent Alphonse, was the true Arisen, the one fit to lead them as their ruler. And what befell him, you ask? Ha! Crusoe was discovered to be a liar, whereupon his head was liberated from his shoulders on the spot. Aye, I dare say your arrival portends another beheading, but whose will it be?
Urge him to escape or shut up.
Escape? But why? Here, I spend my days perusing the code and deciphering old texts. I can devote all my time to my own interests, and I need not turn my ear to Deesa's absurd demands. 'Tis a paradise to me, this cell. That said, if you know of a place with a mountain of tomes I could delve into, I might rethink the matter. Tell me, does that ring any bells? I suspected as much. Then we are done here.
Right. So my understanding of this now is, yeah. So we now need to find somewhere where you can go where there's a load of books. So, we'll take our leave before anyone gets any ideas about my being here. And I have looked up the next part of this quest, because again, after spending 5 hours redoing all that progress, I am certain as hell I'm not going to screw this up again. Right. I'm not sure if we have to go and speak to the captain again, though, before we do this, but I do know where it is. And who we have to talk to get there. Right, the pawns should all
Oh, good.
come
You
back over
return.
now.
I find myself on edge when you stray from my line of sight.
Okay. Let's get a wiggle on. We'll return to the inn.
What's this? Come to admire my sculptures, have you? Oh, to think my eminence as a collector would reach in the ears of the Arisen.
How does he
If
know
only
where
my
we've
collection
arisen?
were
That's meant to be like a
complete,
whole
I'd fain allow you to
thing now.
inspect it. Alas, the sculpture that I commissioned to be its centerpiece is yet to arrive, and 'twould wound my pride to have you behold my collection ere 'tis made whole. If your curiosity shall not be denied, however, mayhap you'd consider paying a visit to the sculptor in my stead. The man's home is located in Bakbatal. You need only tell him that I eagerly await the sculpture's completion.
What say we gather some information?
Right. Well. We'll see about that. If we're going to go and get this sculpture, it better have like massive knockers on it. You know, like old. Lots of old like classical sculptures and that. If it ain't, then it's not worth my time. Right.
There's a ladder here. After you, Arisen.
Oh, right. Where are we? We have the inn here.
This isn't much to go on. Hail, friend. Have you a spare moment? I've an eye for people, and my instincts tell me you're of trustworthy ilk. I'm in a bit of a quandary, you see. I'm to be gone for a week, with no one slated to mind the house in my stead. Fear not. I only ask your name to list as a tenant. You needn't bother yourself with the cleaning, and I don't expect you to stay cooped up in there, neither. I'd be much obliged if you'd simply consider my home a waypoint on your travels. Sound appealing? Then come on by and have a look-see. I've taken the liberty of marking the location on your map.
Okay. We're being taken away. Oh no, she's disappeared. I mean, we'll see. Ah, is he literally not here at the moment now? It would seem so.
I
Okay.
mislike the look of this.
Well met, sir. Fancy a candle? Fine wares.
I'm sure I heard his voice then. Or someone who sounds very similar.
Not sure what they expect.
Is it this fella here?
You got a hankering for something?
Very odd. Anyway, right. So, finding those tomes. Let's see. So we need to head out here, according to what I've heard. Here it is, this road here. Up here. Out the back. If civilian dies, the body will be brought to a mortuary. Yes, we've seen this before. In a past life. Right.
Where's my dagger? My claws could use a trim. Arms, arms for the poor.
Let me get that.
Well met, Sir Arisen. Might I trouble you for alms for the poor?
Right. We need to give him some food. Let's give him that.
Many
Here's some
thanks.
potatoes.
May fortune smile upon you, kind. Well met, Sir Arisen. Might I trouble...
Give some coin.
Many
We've
thanks.
barely just got enough.
Hold on a moment, Sir Arisen. Perchance you would be willing to aid me with another matter. You see, one of the children we care for here at the Gracious Hand has gone missing. Malcolm, his name is. He's a steady lad. This building's very old. It could be that he's found himself in some strange corner of it. Might I impose on you to search for him?
It would seem we need to scrounge up information. 'Tis tedious work, but I suppose we had best get to it.
Right. Talk to this
Malcolm's
person.
been really into exploring of late. Just the other day, he was going around telling anyone who'd listen about how he was an ox hair away from making some big discovery.
And I think one of them is in here. So what we need to do now is to find Malcolm. We have to talk to all his friends. I'm sure as hell not grabbing items out of buildings that are currently occupied anymore. So if it looks like it would be stealing, it probably is, so don't touch it. Right. So there are 3 children. Around in the slums.
Is Malcolm all right? We were supposed to go exploring together, but I overslept and he went without me. Wish he'd woken me up. I was really looking forward to going down into those vaults. Oh no, I wasn't meant to tell anyone that.
Ooh, the frame rate, she ate it all. And became really shiny as a result.
It's been a hard day.
Right, let's see.
Wonder how long this job's supposed to last. So well.
What good can come of my being here?
Time to be heading home.
Was I lacking in devotion?
So I think we've talked to this one, haven't we? There's the last one.
Malcolm? All he's doing of late is picking through rubble. Don't know why he bothered.
Don't we have a report to make, Master?
Right. So again, you wouldn't really think to, not really intuitive this to me, that you would go. Ah, yes, a place with lots
Vaults,
of
you
tomes.
say?
Let's go to the
By my
slums.
knowledge, they were sealed off. Ah, but you mentioned rubble, aye? And perhaps the lad found a way through. Come, I fear there's not a moment to lose. Pray, follow me, and quickly.
Here we go. Oh, that way, this way, which way? Oh, he's off here. Here we go.
I believe this is the place to which the children were referring. Look there, a hole. Could he have passed through here? There is naught to be done but have a look for ourselves. The passage ahead looks small, but we may be able to squeeze through. Let us make haste.
Don't worry, I'll just lift the entire building up.
Really now, you mustn't shirk your duty, lest you forget 'tis the Arisen we serve here.
Right.
It's overly narrow here, and ill-suited to combat.
Let us conclude our business and be quit of this place. There is naught to be gained from lingering.
Oh, rotten scrag of beast. I wouldn't have picked that up if I'd have known it were rotten. Anything good in the boxes? Nope, not really.
A profitable endeavor.
And now for the tricky bit. Now how the old man's going to manage that, I don't know. Frailin showing off and doing a backflip basically as she gets here. Didn't mean to go for the rat,
Poor
but
remuneration for our efforts, I must say.
'Tis a dismal feeling to be disappointed so utterly.
meant to get the barrel, but okay, whatever. Okay. Anything in here?
Let my magics grant you an elemental boon.
Have we gone past him? I don't know. There was another path up there. Oh! Something blew up. Ah, here we are.
Malcolm, thank goodness you are unharmed. You have my eternal gratitude, Sir Arisen.
Sir Kendrick, you'll never believe what I've found. It's just up ahead. Books, sir. Books, books, and more books.
Truly? Perhaps we ought to take a look.
We're to be guided to our destination. Let's try to follow along.
Right you are.
I'm sure this doesn't count as stealing, right? Ring of conservation. Okay. For a moment I thought it were going to be conversation. You know, it's like, oh, it boosts speechcraft or something, and then you kind of remember, oh yeah, that's not a thing in this. So some, like, old dilapidated part of the castle.
I pity the foe who challenges you, Master.
A Seeker's token. Funnily enough, I came out of doing it all again with a second one of those. I've got 3 now. I probably missed way more.
It's above.
Isn't it amazing? And I found it. Me.
'Tis quite a find indeed. Is this some manner of archive? Why, I've ne'er seen so many books. This collection must be worth a fortune. 'Tis a veritable treasure trove of wisdom. Might I ask that you not share the existence of this place with others, Sir Arisen? We cannot allow the knowledge accumulated here to be misused or mistreated. We ought to entrust its care to someone worthy, someone who can appreciate its true value. Pray, as for you, Malcolm, I forbid you from telling anyone else about this place. 'Twill be our little secret. Understood?
Oh, but...
However, in exchange for your silence, you may come and go as you please. Let's investigate this place's secrets together, eh?
Right,
Near
and there we
boggles
go.
the mind that so impressive an archive slumbered here. 'Tis surely any scholar's dream.
'Tis as you say.
And we get a bunch of books that we can loot as well while we're in here. Right, and there we go. So, like I said, just kind of looked that one up because it's like, yeah, I'm not screwing that one up twice. Anyway. Oh, historical account, chapter 4. Tensions twixt the Mund and Batal reached their peak 40 years ago, when both nations were devastated by a prolonged bout of bad weather that resulted in successive cross failures. Hard times turned the starving populaces against one another, eventually culminating in desperate clash of several hundred soldiers, though it produced no victors, resulting in only more meaningless deaths. Upon the site of this battle now stands a cenotaph in memory of the fallen.
Oh, what does this say?
A thorough perusal might reveal aught of interest.
Chapter 3. In spite of the differences, the two nations have managed to coexist largely peacefully, perhaps realizing the futility of an all-out war between two neighbours. Though there have been several examples of one side instigating an invasion, always some great power has intervened before the balance could be tipped too far in the favour of either nation, preventing the fires of war from escalating into an inferno. I'm guessing if we scour up and down here, we'll probably find chapters 1 and 2 then, I guess. What we've got here. So that's chapter 4, that's chapter 3. That's a book we can just loot. Probably some kind of a spell or something.
Confess, naught rattles me quite so much as the unexpected snuffing of my lantern light.
Dare say that's part and parcel of the adventurous trade.
Right. Looks pretty much like we've hit everything up here. But we've found our treasure trove of books. We'll head on back. And I'm pretty sure that concludes the quest. Before we do say we're done though, we'll just make sure that that's all ticked off. Yeah, none of these look... yeah, right. So we'll go back to the magistrate. And that should conclude this quest. Can we open this, or do I just like smack that? Yes, I do. Okay. Out we go. Right. Back this way. It's still daytime, so we can still go on to palace grounds.
My head hurts just thinking about it.
How are we to fight with such worn-out gear?
Right. We need to... Yeah, it's up this way. I don't know exactly where, but...
Puts me in the mood for a song, it does.
That looks right. Yep. It's going upwards. I think that's the entrance there. And hopefully, that's the end of that.
Do you know how long you'll be? I only asked so that I might adopt the most effective stance to recuperate my strength.
'Tis not our place to hurry the Arisen.
Okay. Nice and simple. In, get the guy, out. And we might want to not look shady while we're doing it. Because now we have to kind of be stealthy in a game where there are no stealth mechanics. As you do. Don't mind me. Oh. Okay, I'm not looking.
Well, have you found some place I might sate my scholarly curiosities? Oh, to think such a place existed. Oh, very curious. Guide me outside, then. If you can deliver me from this pit, I ought to be able to find the rest of the way on my own.
Right. Do 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 do. Do 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 do, and over here, and I've honestly, I think it's because I picked something up last time that they must have gone after me. But I'm still just so annoyed that I've lost basically 10 hours worth of progress over that. Absolutely ridiculous games design that they've just not put a proper save and load system in. You know, this is without even mentioning the fact that you can't start a new game or have multiple characters. Right, we can point him to it. Look, it's over there. Just jump down here, you're good to go.
Master, pray let me know beforehand if...
Aye, this should be far enough. My thanks. If you truly are Arisen, then I swear to someday repay this debt I owe. Words may be wind, but there's naught else I can offer you at present. Pray visit me if you've the time or inclination. Mayhap the knowledge I've gained reading tomes of Eld could be of some use to you.
Okay. And there we go. And we're out. Right. One more thing done. Cross it off the list. Okay. That said though. That would have been a horrible way to go in the end, wouldn't it? Oh, what's this we've got here? Of the gracious hand. Do say you'll go and see her. She's at your best hope. She used to conduct research into sedatives and sleeping medicaments for the army of over in Batal. So I'm certain she will.
I don't know what to do.
Right. Let's get this handed in. Ooh, looks like we need to go up here first. Get onto the street level.
You've come. Glad to see you, friend. So, what say you? Would you care to live here in my absence? As I've said, you needn't worry about tending to the place. Many thanks, friend. I knew I could count on you. I'll stop by again in a week's time, but till then, farewell.
The mortgage is going to be due or something, isn't it?
We will find much better rest in an abode than out in the elements, methinks. Let us make good use of it while we can.
It's as you say.
Does this count as an inn save? I don't know. You see, this is this is the problem with the save system. It's like, does it have to be an inn? Because I thought just sleeping would do it, which made me think that all this time that I'd been camping, I was diligently saving my progress at every moment. Nope. But does a house count as it? You know, I mean, it's not an inn, but it is a house, and it does have the storage functionality, like an inn. So maybe it counts, or possibly not, I really don't know.
There is much we ought to tend to, if we are to strengthen your Majesty's claim as a true Arisen.
The
Since
magistrate.
Magistrate Wardor has been safely delivered from his cell, the man's dedication to justice shall doubtless be a great boon to our cause.
Good stuff.
Mayhap
One
it would be
down.
prudent to visit the man on occasion and avail yourself of his vast stores of wisdom. He might have knowledge that could benefit you on your travels. Now, would you be so kind as to return the key I lent you? I thank you. Pray, take this. Consider it remuneration for your Majesty's efforts.
Ooh, 7 grand. Lovely. Right.
Life's best taken at a leisurely pace.
And at that, we are now, because I believe last time, when we got to this point, I was a bit higher level than I was. Because I'd taken my time a lot more.
Over here, if
But
you
I
would.
think I wasn't that much higher. I think it was either 16 or it was 18 I was. So, now, fingers crossed, we should be basically exactly where we left off last time. Right, and B here is trying to escort me to something.
Mayhap the one we're here to meet intends to arrive at a different time of day.
Waiting around doesn't seem like to do us much good. What could we be missing here?
Right. Let's see what quest that she's accidentally been following. Because she's trying to lead me to something there, I think. No, not bloody hell, I'm pressing every button but the right one. Right. Sculptors block the Arisen's shadow. Mysterious figure being shadowing you every step. No destination. The nameless village. We could go and investigate that. Approach the false sovereign. So that's the masquerade. Batal is a different kingdom entirely, so we're not going there. Deesa's misdeeds. Slip into the palace through the rear gate between the hours of midnight and dawn. Search the Queen Regent's office for incriminating evidence. Right. Here's what I'm wondering. Can you complete that while doing the masquerade? You know, could I sneak backstage at the masquerade, enter Deesa's room, rummage around her stuff, rejoin the masquerade and approach a false sovereign and tie the whole thing up in a neat bow? That's the question. For now...
It would seem we've a need to visit the palace.
For now, we probably want to avoid getting into too much trouble here. We probably want to... Now, I'm going to do an experiment here, because I'm curious as to whether that house counts as an inn. So we're going to save at the inn.
You will soon forget the fatigue of a long journey when treated to the foremost hospitality in all Vernworth.
So let's rest till morning.
We must rest, though the sun is still up.
Oh, we get this from when we get back to the inn. Pawn might have been off on adventures with people overnight. So, hey, we get some rift currency. And, let's see, Pawn Quest defeated 1 foes beyond the rift. Right, so she defeated a Cyclops out there. We've got 3 thumbs up, 2 hearts. Lovely. And we got some bits and bats. Very nice. Ogre Eliminator, Cyclops Clobberer. Set a reward of gold. No, we're not going to give them all of my gold. But we can give them... £1,000. There we go. So if someone takes out my pawn...
'Tis a relief to be home. Let us just say that not all Arisen are quite like you, Master.
Now we've the vim to tackle the day ahead.
Off we go then.
What have we got here?
Underway.
Driver's Daybook. The other day I arrived at the border checkpoint only to realise I'd left my entry permit back at the inn. End up having to make the trip back. I was late for my delivery. When I complained to a fellow driver, he said next time I ought to use a Beastron mask. Seems Batal favours its Beastron residents, so they can get through without the hassle of a permit. Might be worth keeping a disguise to hand just in case.
Nice to see you again.
Why are you in my room?
Over here, if you please.
Like, this girl is following me all around town. I bought her, like, 1 bit of medicine once.
Perhaps this ladder is here for a reason.
Perhaps new discoveries await us above.
Anyway, we don't need to loot everything. I probably should try and avoid it just in case it's, you know, accidentally stealing. And we need to do some inventory management. Right, she's got a modest camping kit. As have I. All is well. Oh, and want to combine some things because some stuff was ripening, wasn't it? Which means it's time for, yes, dried fruit. Dried spuds. Once we dry it out, it doesn't go off as easily, if my understanding is correct. Also, we've got a bunch of saurian tails. I figured out that you have to actually chop them off to get them, and you have to examine that separately from the body then. So, I've managed to get a bunch of them now. Fine mincemeat roberant. What have we got here? So, fine mincemeat and a saurian tail, mincemeat, a load of stuff and saurian tail. We've got some rotten fish and spuds. So yeah, if you get like loads of rotten stuff, you can turn it into oil to make lantern oil out of, which can be useful. I mean, at least it's being used for something at that point. Okay. We'll make one of those and one of those, just so we've got the recipes all done. But yes, my experiment. We'll go to this house.
That looks promising. Any ideas as to how we might reach it?
But I've completely forgotten exactly where it is.
Have you a different destination in mind, Master? Very well. I shall follow your lead instead.
Let's...
Perhaps the Arisen has recalled some more...
Boxcart Station, Starship Inn, Diviner's Salon, Vocation Guild. Okay, you know what? I think we got a quest for it, so we'll just look at the quest to visit there. Place called Home. You know what? We'll just do that.
Fret not. I'm sure we'll come back to this eventually.
We will... So it's through... So if that's where the inn is, so I know where it is, go down to our right. And it is next to this, like, drop. Okay. So the question... For science, so we need to rest till night, because that's when we're doing...
Asleep, even at this time.
We're resting till night, because that's when we're doing this missionette.
Are we to depart at this hour?
Now, no matter what, we will be able to load this save up, because I'm going to save and continue. We'll return to the title screen. Question is, if we load that up, is that an in save, or is it not an in save? If it's not an in save, we'll just load up the regular save again. Okay. I think it might be. I think it's a free in. Cost me a couple grand to find out, but I believe that's correct. Yeah. There we are. It counts as an inn. That's very handy. Okay.
This is most convenient. Another destination we were bound for is not far from here.
We'll make... our way there in time.
So, quests, decent plot, prioritize, job's a good un.
As to whether 'twill be sooner or later, that is for the Arisen to decide.
Right, that's going to do it though. Thank you very much for watching. Gone a bit longer that one, but we've got a fair amount of progress done there. And hell of a lot. I think for me that episode has basically taken nearly 6 hours to do that. Jesus Christ. I hope you appreciate the effort. But it's glad to be back where I left off. That was very frustrating. I do hope they sort this save system out, because it's bad enough that this can happen, but you have to keep in mind as well, you can't have multiple characters and different builds and doing all that. Nope. You can't replay it and see what happens if you make different decisions or anything, even though the entire game seems to be based around that. So it seems like they've made a perfectly good game, then just committed suicide at the end. So they've gone completely down one road with the game design. Like, oh, it's going to be all about decisions and different characters and play styles and builds, and then we're going to not allow you to replay it. What? So you've put all this stuff in that adds replay value, and then you've completely cannibalized it by not adding the ability to replay the game. It's so stupid. It beggars belief. But that aside, I am calm. I am not annoyed at the least in all of this. As he bites his tongue. Right. But yes, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, where we'll probably try to do this. I'm probably going to look this one up as well, because I'm a bit nervous now about anything that involves stealth mechanics and avoiding guards and things. Just in case I accidentally, pick up the wrong thing and attract the ire of, the local bobby and just get thrown in jail, and it permanently saves that onto, just permanently chisels it onto my flesh so that it can never be undone. Right. Anyway, we'll try this next time. I'll see you then.